Yes! Greetings, metalheads, and welcome to RomRom.net, the channel sharing sim racing. Today we are once again Corsa Friends under 911 Super Cup and are in California, Big Willow. As often enough, luckily I'm not alone, but with boys of the Fountain Angels, Cody. Hey Cody, how are you, mate? Well, California is your home turf? Quite good, quite good. It's getting cold here in good old northern Germany, but seeing these plains, these dried up plains from the sun in California, warmer. On. That's Spanish country. A couple of drivers less. There was one on the Discord of Assetto Corsa Friends saying, "Oh, I didn't have time to train. No, I'm not gonna do the race." And I was thinking, mate, it's like Willow Springs. Like, you have driven much more complex uh, tracks here. Like this here is compared to what else um, this league is going to do. So, nice. Yeah, you're done. There we go. But I'm making it less and less loud by. Okay, if you guys say that the in-game sound is too loud, then it's you to have a time. Ew, is now the sound better or a sound engineer at our stream? Okay, there's things that they cannot. You can continue. Especially if people don't hear me.
Very wide, very flowing, but it can be, and as these drivers have found, it can be deceptively tricky, because there's a lot of corners that are very wide and very big arcs, but they'll tighten. There's certainly turn. I think it's the final corner. Really, it's the final two corners, but you're all doing one big motion. It's a very long right-hander, and then like there's just a hint of a straight, but you're still like just going out and then curving in for the final corner that like just goes in, and then it tightens as well. So if you take the corner as it looks, okay, we're seeing. Please turn down the game sound. I can't hear person 2. We can hear you now. Yes. Okay. Cool. Good
I've
stuff.
been fiddling.
Okay.
I've been fiddling around with the sound, so.
I see.
The sound and camera engineer.
Yeah.
1
Twitch
minute
chat
to start of the
has,
race.
I don't know if your co-commentator is talking, but if he is, I can't hear him. So we might want to turn me up a little bit.
No, that was something different. They can hear.
Oh, can you guys hear me now?
But do you hear 2 voices? Oh, chat, let us know.
We are counting down. We have about 30 seconds before the green flag engages.
And let's see how they survive the first lap. Because tires, all brakes, fuel fuel tank full. Go to run.
Very good.
And they're off.
And here we go, Diakowski, your top qualifier in first. Mr. moves up. They're all very, very much alongside each other. A bit of a touch there, going a little wide. We're 3 wide into the corner. Mr. coming around. Oh, we have an off. Gramke is off. That is not how you want to start your race. Oh, and a slide. Almost took it, but not quite. It's Diakowski in front, Tennyson in second, Smisser in third, Bringer in
And
fourth, but Bloom is quickly wanting to change that. We have
Sattler
another car
got
off.
turned.
That's Sattler. That's Killian Sattler, the number 50, the number 52 car of Killian Sattler. We have Bloom in 5th place, right behind Bringer, who is right behind Smister. Very, very close grouping there as we go around the back stretch. Coming around into that big sweeping right-hander that I was telling you guys about before we went green. Diakowski now moving out, and it tightens. We're going to see if any drivers run wide. We've had quite a few incidents throughout. Yep, there we go. Bloom spins. Looks like Bringer is off as well in the same location. Let's see, Lompkin takes the advantage and is right behind Metch now. Yes, we had Bringer, Bloom, and I think Gramke may have had a moment there, but certainly we had some spins. Metch and Lompkin trading places as we go around the first few corners here on lap 2. Goodness, sprint racing certainly is something else, is it not?
And somehow I was expecting that because Willow Springs. Oh, there we have. There we have Metch going off.
He's spun around, facing 180 degrees on the track. He gets back going somewhat safely, but my goodness, they're 3 wide as they go, and Bloom is now off.
Again,
Bloom runs wide into the dirt. Certainly a very difficult circuit for a lot of these drivers, as we predicted and as it has proven to be. It's a very wide track, very forgiving. We haven't seen any cars into a wall because there are very few walls on this circuit. Certainly very much the opposite of Monaco that we saw a few weeks back. So thankfully for these drivers, it's a very forgiving circuit, but I think a lot of the drivers, because of that fact, I think they're underestimating it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the case. It's a fast track. You can drive fast, but you should take care of the corner. Don't, you're gonna go off. And when you go off, the issue is also it gets really bumpy when you get off the track. Like you think twice if you keep your hands on the wheel or not, because it can get very bumpy as soon as you get off the track.
Certainly, it is sand and dirt, and you have that and nothing else separating you and the road. Okay, well, after these first couple laps of craziness, Diakowski and Tennyson and Smister round out your top 3, 1, 2, and 3 there, with Sasha Girard's a fairly close 4th place. We're seeing some race personal bests come in through the server for several drivers. That makes sense because a lot of these drivers had some fairly eventful first few laps, and now as we finally start to stretch out a little bit, the drivers understand that Willow Springs is a rattlesnake that has not been tamed. They must respect it And as they gain a little bit more of that respect for the circuit, settle in, they're starting to set some good personal bests, which of course we will see be improved as we go on. But Diakowski a good 3 seconds ahead of Tennyson, and Tennyson a good 3 seconds ahead of Smithster. These top 3 drivers are running away with it, certainly.
Again, I mean, especially with regards to Tennyson.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a surprise that he's under the.
I see. We're seeing better, but still a bit too quiet from Gunner 333. I recognize Gunner. Hey, cool. I've seen your name pop around, and thanks for all the mods.
Ah, he's a mod maker.
I believe so.
Well, I don't remember seeing that, but in any case, every mod maker is a big friend of mine. I love mods, so thank you for.
If he is the same Gunner 333 that I think he is, but I'm fairly certain. So if you're the Gunner we're thinking of, thanks for tuning in. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. But special welcome to Gunner on Twitch. We are streaming live on Twitch, so if you are watching us on YouTube and you would like to be watching us on Twitch because that is your preferred platform, you have the option to do so. If you are watching us on Twitch and YouTube is your preferred platform, you have the option to do so. If you're watching us on Facebook, I mean, I guess you have the option to do that too. Um, you are more than welcome to switch to either Twitch or YouTube or vice versa. But absolutely, we are streaming on all platforms of choice. The battle now, I will wager and call it a battle. We are very early on in the race, but certainly we've seen some action so far between Sasha Gerard's Lomkin, both challenging Tennyson for a podium position in the number three spot. They are hot on his heels for sure. Lumpkin's a little bit closer to Girard's, but they're both breathing down Tennyson's neck. If you're Tennyson, you're watching towards Smithster, trying to focus on catching him. But yeah, Girard's and Lumpkin are definitely forces to be reckoned with. They've placed fairly well in the championships so far, mainly in the point of, I'm sorry, Sasha Gerards is in 12th and Smithster is in 17th.
Statla of
Smithster was not the one that
Lamke.
I was thinking of. What's up? Oh
Statla
yes.
Gerard's has done the best uh best lap time. Now I have it. And English is a very difficult.
I know, right? Words are hard.
Yeah, wordage when you have to commentate it. And we're seeing also some best time back.
Yes, Sattler and O'Ferry both putting in their best times as they try to make up for lost time that they had in the first couple of laps. Unfortunate victims of the Willow.
Yeah. We're still watching the fight for
Third place, I think.
third.
Yeah, third place. Gerards and Lumpkin both challenging Smithster. All of them getting a little bit closer together. It seems, a little bit of locking the tires.
Yeah.
Gerards might have dropped out of that battle a little bit. Now it is Lumpkin right behind Smithster. He says, hey, Gerards, you were slowing me down. Now it's my turn. I'm going to catch you. I'm going to pass you. He looks to the inside a little bit, thinks better of it. Looking again to the outside.
Oh! Broom and Gramke had a moment there, and
oh, goodness.
both went
Yep,
off.
that's on the exit of the final corner. Certainly a spot that we talked about. It tightens there. It's really, really easy to run wide. And as such, you are right on the very limits of grip. And so there's not as much room as you think there is.
It's a little bit like Sassen last week. Oh, Sattler losing a little bit of control over the car, but regaining it. It's a little bit like Sassen last week. Sassen is more difficult this year by far, but you have these long stretches where you can go very fast, and then if you don't think twice, you're gonna be braking at the wrong place and therefore messing up the corner. If you're lucky, you're only getting the corner wrong and losing a couple of
He's
tenths.
making a pass. He's making a pass attempt. He dips down to the inside, outbreaks Smister. Yep, gets his nose in there and makes the pass successfully. Lumpkin is now in third, but Smister still a force to be reckoned with right behind him, and he's going to be chasing him down as they go around this very, very wide double apex corner that tightens here. Smister takes that opportunity to get a little bit closer. And Smister now chasing Gerards, who we saw run wide a little bit as Lumpkin and Smister battled there, as Lumpkin made his move successfully. Uh, Gerards took that opportunity and got a little bit closer. Oops, Smister going wide now. And it looks like Gerards is going to take fourth away from Smister. Smister's had a very bad lap so far in terms of position loss. Oh my goodness, definitely a lot of
And
action on track
Match
here.
loses control of the car and gets off.
Yep, Metch, I think his second spin of the day so far in two different spots. Certainly we've had some drivers who have been very consistent, very thorough. Dykowski, Tennyson, and then to their credit, Lumpkin, Gerards, and Smister have done quite well. But down at the lower end, we've seen a lot of drivers who had raced rather consistently in previous rounds. Certainly out of practice for this race, I'll say. Bloom and Brenger in 11th and 12th there at the bottom. A bit of a pass, bit of competition there. A lot of these drivers have been, spreading out. If you're Dykowski, you are, getting quite ahead of everybody else in the field. But we're still seeing some pretty close drivers. Sattler is only about a second and a half away from Blamshin. He's definitely got him right in his sights. Oh, Blamshin goes off. Blamshin, we first mention him right as he's going off. Goodness, commentators curse a little bit there. Lumpkin now approaching Tennyson for second. Lumpkin is on a roll. Lumpkin knows this circuit clearly. Lumpkin has been moving up in the rounds. He is 128 points off of the lead, but he moved up into 18th. I believe he's missed a couple of rounds beforehand, but he's definitely doing his best to make up for lost time. Now running in third and challenging Tennyson for second. Very, very close behind.
If you watch how he's driving, uh, he's getting the car at the limit. Ooh,
Whoa, they're right alongside. Tennyson had a little bit of a wobble there, and that allowed Lumpkin to get the advantage. They go around the S's here. They're
and
trading
he's through.
places. Lumpkin takes the pass very cleanly, very safely. That was a good masterclass in passing through the S's there.
I was saying, if you take a close look at how Lumpkin is driving, sometimes his car is a little bit sideways, and that's the way that you notice that he's on the limit. Like, it's not out of control sideways, it's just you notice that working it to keep the car right on track and having it really at the limit. That's an impressive thing to do.
Tennyson gets a good run out of the first corner. Looks to the inside of Lomkin here, but Lomkin has that outside line. This corner tightens here, though. Tennyson has the inside line, and that might be to his advantage. They're right alongside each other now. Very good move from Tennyson, but that's going to put him on the outside line for this very, very sharp uphill corner. Tennyson retakes second place. But of course, the battle is not over yet as Lomkin slots in right behind him. All right, heading around. This is called turn 9, as I've finally pulled up a track map. Hi, I'm a great commentator. All of the other corners are named, by the way, but this corner that they've just passed through is called turn 9. There you go. Fun
Pumpkin
fact.
gonna try again? He's a little.
Yeah, I think Lomkin is probably saving his tires and slotting in behind Tennyson. He'll take the opportunity if it's given to him.
I think he's just taking a breather, maybe one lap or half a lap, and then he's gonna attack.
I think you're right.
And look at that. I mean, it's really beautiful how he's got the racing very well. Of course, I say it, and he gets half a tire out of the track. But that
Just a little
happens.
bit.
But that happens when you try to use all of the track.
Absolutely. There's not much paved, actually there's no paved runoff here, and there's very, very few rumble strips to use. So you have pretty much the track, there is what is paved, and then there is everything else. Oh
Oh,
no!
Tennyson.
Tennyson, turn 9, a little bit of an issue there. He gets it loose, loses all of his speed on that slide. Thankfully for him, he didn't go all the way around. He caught it eventually, but that did take him off into the dirt, slowed him down, and Lomkin takes second. Tennyson down in third. Metch and Blamshin are right alongside each other as they go through a very similar, as they go through the same corner, my apologies. But Metch is right behind Blamshin, and he's trying to make a pass for 7th here. Yep, he looks to the inside. Dips down, he's gonna outbrake him, but
They
Blamshin, a
touch.
little bit of a lock from the tires of Metch. They touch. Blamshin had it, but backed off, trying to live to fight another day, and Metch has the position. Blamshin a better line out of. Oh goodness, this corner is actually not named, but the corner they're
Get
going
another
into
one.
is Budweiser Balcony, and oh, Blamshin, I think backing out of the fight. I think he's gonna let Metch take the position and be a little opportunistic if he comes to him again. Certainly, we're seeing a lot of drivers on track making just little mistakes, kind of, where am I on the circuit again? Mistakes. It is all sand and gravel and dirt, and those are your points of reference. It's, which speck of dust looks different for some of them if you're very unfamiliar. So I think a lot of these drivers are learning as they go a little bit, which is why we're seeing fewer incidents now.
Can I
After
take
these.
one of the 300 hot air balloons as reference?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. The the mod developers had quite the affinity for hot air balloons, things in the sky, and so you'll see some of these wider shots with a bit more sky in them. And goodness, there are so many hot air balloons.
Yeah, I mean, you could say affinity, they fixed.
Well, I have a fixation on how well Diakowski is running in that number 60 WeatherTech Racing Porsche. He is absolutely putting on a masterclass in driving, and he's trying to save his tires, trying to conserve them. We saw him make a massive push out at the beginning of the race. I believe he started on pole. He has maintained the lead throughout most of the race after lap 1. Tennyson and Lomkin now, the battle heating up a little bit. Tennyson alongside Lomkin. Tennyson making the pass, but Lomkin looking to the outside. Lomkin looking way too far to the outside. Dips his rear wheel off into the grass and loses it.
It's interesting. The moment that they start fight, ooh, and he's losing a lot of positions because he's not able to work well with the brake, or only that his tires are.
I think it's all the sand on the tires slows him down a good bit. But he's back now. There's a pass. Gremke and Blamshine are trading places. We've been focused up at the front for so long. We haven't really seen much of the down ballot folks. And Gremke is now challenging Blamshane. Blamshane had a great qualifying run compared to how he's been
Hey,
running in the race. Runs way off. Gremke easily takes the position. A little bit of a slide out from Gremke, but that's just using all of the grip of the tires. But yeah, Blamsheen loses the position, and now Bloom takes over. Oh, looks like Brenger had an unfortunate disconnect. And so Brenger is now out of the race. Blamsheen is right behind Luke Grumke. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like they'll have the pace to challenge him again. They band up a little bit there as they head on to Budweiser balcony, but it looks like Gramke has the position.
and in between, I looked it up. Has done Orklo or Norisring or so. I don't remember racing on, but I have at least 4 tracks in our database. So thank you very much. Hard.
Well, I can tell you that I've driven them, and I've driven them quite extensively, and I absolutely love them. So thank you for all you do, Gunnar, and we hope you stick around.
I think, yeah, exactly. He did one version of Sachsenring. Was the second race the Assetto Corsa Friends did? No, the first race that they did on.
Well, hey, there you
Yeah,
go.
I don't know if they were using Guna's version or another, because versions
Well, if
out
they
there.
weren't, they should have, because it's my favorite version. So.
But one of them was, according to.
Oh, very good. Bloom is made his way up and is challenging Blamsheen again. Good in qualifying, and he's having a few moments here in the race. But looks like Blamsheen gets ahead of Grumke. Finally, they had been battling for a moment, and it looked like Grumke was going to run away with it. But can't underestimate any of these drivers, really. Grumke right behind Blamsheen. I'm looking on from the perspective of Bloom, who is just trying to survive. Whoa!
A little bit of
Almost a
touch.
touch there. Almost a touch there between Gremke and Bloom. Bloom definitely not allowing Gremke any space to get his bearings, and Bloom takes the position away. The drivers are all behaving very well. Certainly no major
Come drive.
points of contact yet in this race, but we're still young, and there's still 15 minutes left to go here. Gramke and Bloom, and to a slightly lesser extent in this lap so far, Blamshin, all battling there. Bloom and Gramke trading places. It doesn't look like... Honestly, if you asked me to bet which one of these drivers would finish ahead of the other, I would keep my money and tell you no. Oh, it looks like Metch had a bit of a difficult off there around... Is that... Oh goodness, what corner is that? That is Monroe Ridge. And yeah, he loses all of his positions. Blamshin, Bloom, Gramke all ahead. So Blamshin now moves into 7th. Bloom is doing his best to try to take 7th away from Blamshin. He's only had it for so long, goodness. But definitely challenging down the front straight. Bloom using those braking zones. We've noticed Bloom has been very good in the braking zones. Blamshin is quick, but we're seeing him be a little bit loose there in the corner exits. Definitely stamping on the throttle and losing a little bit of time that way. Bloom, cool, calm, collected, nailing his entrances and exits as we've seen. But Blamshin's kind of wilder driving style has been paying off so far. He's moved up into 7th. He's ahead of all these drivers, and he's doing well. But Bloom is doing his best to make that change. Looking for any opportunity to force Blamshin into an error and take the position. Bloom now dipping his wheels off into the... I've been saying into the grass, but really that's not the correct term. Dipping his wheels off into the sand. As he's looking to use all the space to get around Blamshin. Seeing both drivers be kind of careful on the throttle application out of turn 9. Again, it tightens there. It's kind of tricky, and so a lot of drivers will carry a lot of speed into the corner, and then they'll realize, oh, wait, hang on, and they'll brake a little bit on the corner exit, and that might affect their lap time as they finish out the lap along the start-finish straight. You've got to carry a lot of speed through there. Ooh, Blamshin being a little bit loose throughout the Budweiser balcony collection of corners. And it's looking like Bloom is hanging back a little bit. There's 12 minutes left in this first sprint. And so a lot of the drivers are settling in where they want to be. Diakowski, Tennyson, both first and second, very comfortable in their positions. Diakowski especially. Blamshin that we're watching a little bit less so as Bloom looks down the barrel, focusing in on Blamshin. Blamshin putting in his personal best, certainly not for lack of trying. Bloom's hanging right on his tail. Blamshin doing his best, and Bloom
Hamke
still
going
catching up.
sideways.
Who's that?
Hamke going...
Oh yes, Gramke going off. Goodness. Yeah, we've got a big off from Gramke. Getting close to the wall but not hitting it. That's pretty easy to do. Go
Now
close to the wall but not hit it.
Blamshin got off. Guys,
Yeah.
Willow is not that difficult. Like, really not. Like, you've been driving in much more difficult. Like, Sachsenring is hell compared with...
My goodness, these drivers made it around Monaco alive.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about Willow is it didn't get the name the Big Willow just because its size. It is a big thing to tackle. It is tough. It is deceptively tricky, as a lot of these drivers are finding out during the race, and certainly found out through practice and qualifying.
And by the way, just in case you are new, are always time, but 2 races are 40 minutes. Second race having a reverse grid for the 10. The setups are all fixed. The only thing drivers change are the pressures of the tires. The fuel is fixed. Everything in the setup other than the air pressures is everyone that we from 1 to 10 is gonna be.
Oh, Blomsheen spins. Blomsheen is around, facing the wrong way. Looks like Metch gets around him. That's the end of that battle. Metch, we saw in the previous lap, was pretty content to hang behind Blomsheen, but he finally forced him into an error. Bit of a twisty bit through Monroe Ridge that Blomsheen just wasn't prepared for that lap around. And Metch takes the advantage, moves into 8th position. Bloom is in 7th, Metch is in 8th, Blomsheen is in 9th. That's the end result of the battle that we were looking at earlier. There's 9 minutes left to go as my wonderful co-commentator, Serta, with a wonderful YouTube channel that you're watching us on, or if you're watching us on Twitch, go subscribe to us over on YouTube. It's free. And as he pointed out, oh, pardon me, I've lost my thought. Sattler and Lumpkin now having a bit of a moment as Lumpkin is trying to lap O'Ferry. Sattler made it through. I think there may have been an error from Lumpkin because I think he was a little bit further ahead. He's dropped back all the way to 6th. Compared to where he started, not the best race for Lumpkin.
Off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sattler has had a great race so far. He started towards the back. He had, I believe, um, an early incident. I don't think he was one of the ones who spun, but I think he was slowed down heavily by somebody who spun in front of him, if I remember correctly. It's been about 30 minutes now. But he has worked his way from the back all the way up into 5th position, and he is challenging Smitzer for 4th as they come around Budweiser balcony and start the downhill into Monroe Ridge. You got to slow down here a little bit more than a lot of drivers so far have been thinking they needed to. But Sattler and Smister make it around okay. But yeah, Sattler has had a wonderful race so far. I don't think he's lost many positions. He's only gained.
I mean, who's had, of course, a wonderful Kowski as started first. His first, I would say, end up first.
Yep. Blumsheen having even more issues now. Spends it in the aforementioned Budweiser balcony, but he gets going without much incident. I don't think he's lost a position, but he certainly hasn't gained any. But yes, Diakowski, Tennyson, and Sasha Girard's all very, very good showings this time around. Tennyson, your leader for the championship, is looking like he's probably going to hold on to it if his race 2 is as good as his race 1. But time will tell. Aslan only 1 point behind him. Aslan not in this race today, so it looks like he's going to hold on to it. But Bevan is also not in this race today, as I'm looking through the championship standings. So yeah, it's looking like Tennyson and Sattler are going to maintain their 1 and 2 position throughout. Looks like that's pretty safe for them just by virtue of showing up. But yeah, a lot of the
Watching.
drivers... Oh, go ahead.
Blindshine lost control once again. And we're
Oh,
watching
goodness.
Zatla being dangerous of Smister, who locks up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sattler makes the pass, takes advantage of Smister's mistake there. Definitely a really heavy locking of the tires. Is trying to outbrake Sattler to maintain, to stay ahead of him, pardon. But tried a little bit too late, and Sattler takes the advantage. Smister has shown that he has speed though, and perhaps he can challenge Sattler, but Sattler has been on a roll so far.
Now
Oh yeah,
he's
leaving
being
him in the
endangered by
dust now.
Lumpkin.
Yep.
And he loses.
Mr.
Oh,
going
once again.
wide, Mr. spinning. Lumpkin very, very good to get out of the throttle and avoid that incident. But yep, Smister losing 2 positions in this one lap. Lumpkin moves into 5th place. Top 5 is always possible. Some people will
And
actually
Gramke
haven't.
once again out. Well, I think it's a mix. He overcooked the tires and he got nervous.
Diakowski putting on a master class, half a lap ahead of Finnison.
Because of all these shenanigans, to offer it.
Oh, most certainly. And this is only one of 2 races. If you're watching this, you're excited by the on-track action that we've been seeing, and you're, a little bit sad that, oh man, it's almost over. Well, we're only halfway through. There's a whole nother race after this as we go into race 2 of round 4 of the AC Friends 911 Super Cup.
Mr. went off.
Oh, yes. Smister, your current 6th place runner, goes off at, I believe that is, yes, Monroe Ridge. And now getting his bearings in the vitamin water car, off again, but Bloom right behind him, right in his sights, and he's got the speed advantage.
And it's also, of course, when you go off pace because you go off, but also you lose speed. And Big Willow being such a fast track, when you lose that at one point and the others are holding on their speed.
All that, not to mention all the sand and dirt that you've got stuck on your tires that has to get thrown off once you get through, because that in Assetto Corsa they do a really good job modeling that.
Oh yeah.
And that has to rub off eventually, but that will reduce your grip.
And Lumpkin off
for the next lap. Oh, Lumpkin off. You're right, but it looks like it wasn't too much of an issue. He gets back going. Definitely in less of a position to challenge Sattler now. Killian Sattler, we mentioned, on a roll. 2 minutes left to go in this race. Looks like he is on track to finish 4th, unless Sasha Gerards has some sort of an incident. But Gerards, Stennis, and Diakowski in positions 3, 2, and 1, respectively. They have all been putting on an absolute clinic on how to race Big Willow, how to race it fast, how to race it clean, and how to race it without incident. Speaking of incidents, I'm seeing a driver go way off at turn 9. That was Luca Grumke. Also, Bloom passing Smister. Yes, at turn 9 as well. Turn 9, a little bit of shaking up there. Bloom now moving into 6th place. Smister down into 7th.
And Gramke into pits, serving a drive-through penalty.
He's not into the pits just yet, I don't think, but he has been assessed a penalty, and he will need to serve that. That is a not fun thing to have to do in the last 1 minute of the race. O'Ferry is certainly going to be very happy about Gremke having to serve that, because that means, oh, thank goodness I'm not last.
What could also be that, for example, a Lumpkin the car could very well be that the tires are gone at the point of the race.
That is quite possible as well. They've had a lot of spins, a lot of lockups. and just the general wear and tear of driving these cars around Willow Springs. That's the tricky thing about a fast track, is that they burn tires really, really effectively.
And Lomkin has been driving a good while of the race. 10 seconds to go until the end. Amke once again off track.
Oh, Diakowski off track. Oh my goodness, in the last lap, Diakowski, your leader, spins it. Big spin. Oh my goodness, this is not where you want to be if you're Diakowski. Thankfully, he has a half a lap advantage. Looks like he's going to hold on to it. But my goodness, that is definitely something to make you nervous about. Diakowski having previously run a very, very clean race. Oh, we have that looks like Blomsheen in front of him, goes off, knows well enough to stay off of the track and not try to rejoin unsafely. It finally gets going again. But yeah, Diakowski, your leader, definitely not his favorite last lap of all time, that's for sure. But gets the speed advantage on Bloom, laps him once more for the final corner. This is going to be the big, wide sweeping corner here.
And he brakes a lot so as not to go off on the last corner.
Yeah. Very, very careful
And
to do that. Passing I think that was a stopped. Yeah,
and
that's a stopped Luka Gramke at the very end. Did he run out of fuel?
oh, that
No,
could be.
Gramke. No.
Tchaikovsky finishes first.
Yes. Diakowski first, Tennyson second.
No, Grank is going, and Tennyson
Ah.
is now on the last corner.
Yeah, Gramke is not having a good time. He is, it seems, oh, I think he was stuck. Oh, yeah,
Oh, bother.
Gramke has a flat. He has a flat in his rear left, I think. His flat. He is going to finish in the pit lane. Wow, goodness.
Gerard's third.
And Sattler, a respectable fourth, starting at the back. Wow, what a race.
And
Lumpkin
Lumpkin
fifth.
passes also. So
Yep.
we have all the drivers already finished these first race. Congratulations
Understand.
to Diakowski, Tennyson, and Gerards.
Absolutely. Those are your top three, followed by Sattler in fourth, Lumpkin fifth, Bloom sixth, Smister seventh, Metch eighth, Blamsheen ninth, O'Ferry 10th, Gramke in 11th, and Brenger 12th.
Ah,
Drivers.
Big Willow is at the moment that you don't take care, the corner comes fast, and there's where we've seen, and also of course this corner 9 uh, at the beginning of the start and end. Oh, and do you see the thousands and thousands of hot air balloons?
There's definitely more than four. Definitely more than four.
And less than 10,000.
Yes. Well, drivers have finished their race. They've made it around. And they are now pitting in. Once all the drivers have pitted in properly, we will start the countdown to go to race 2.
That, as we said, gonna be is going to reverse grid from 10. So other than Granke and they're all changing.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a lower turnout for this race compared to the previous, certainly. Which it happens throughout the races. Throughout the races in a championship, there are bound to be drivers who, you know, show up for some, don't show up for others. We actually have a lot of drivers this time around that weren't in the last couple of races, and so we've got a lot of drivers who are ranked very low in the championship standings, but are very much due to jump a lot of points just by virtue of showing up.
I mean, I remember seeing that one of them was saying, "Oh, I thought this was in time. Now my rig is not put together. I won't be able to."
Mm.
People not being able to read a calendar is
Well, this is also a very international championship. A lot of people are on different time zones, different, perhaps different calendars for different regions in the world.
no.
And
I don't think that we have anybody racing that still using the Gregorian
hey, shut up! I'm making excuses.
calendar.
Trying to give the benefit of the doubt here, but you know, life happens as well. You know, we are certainly hobbyists. A lot of wonderful, wonderful, very talented drivers here, but life does get in the way sometimes. So we're understandable and or we're understanding of that. Pennison, Sattler, though, have certainly made wonderful, wonderful strides to make every single race, and they have benefited greatly, placing first and second, respectively, in this championship.
Speaking of calendar, the next race not going once. It's gonna be on the 8th of October. It's gonna be on Detroit.
Yep, Detroit, similar to Monaco in that it is a street circuit and gets kind of tight, but it's a lot wider circuit than Monaco and a bit more, a little bit more forgiving and certainly a lot more opportunities to pass. So that is destined to be a very, very fun, fast, flowy race, and I'm excited for it. We're in the American leg of the Porsche 911 Super Cup uh, through AC Friends this time around.
Was was Detroit a Formula One track?
Um, yes, but not the Detroit circuit that I believe we're running. So there's been two street circuits in Detroit. There is the Detroit Street Circuit, which I believe is what you're thinking of. And then there is the Belle Isle Street Circuit in Detroit, which is what we'll be running, I believe. I believe. And that is on the IndyCar and IMSA calendar. But certainly not the first street circuit in Detroit, and I think Formula One did run the previous circuit that was in downtown. But this one is a bit further out on Belle Isle Park.
I haven't driven it in Assetto Corsa, but I've driven it in R Factor 2, and I just love Bell. Such a fantastic. It's as you say. Well, it's not as horrible, if you allow me to call it that way, as Monaco, but the comparison stands. It comparison. And by the way, a great race this year in Belle Isle on IndyCar, as have most of the IndyCar is really on fire. Well, last in this year uh, are lots of fun in the race.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to see the Music City Grand Prix. Uh, I think, yeah,
This
it's
weekend, right?
happened. You know, it's happened. I haven't seen it. I'm excited to see it. I just haven't watched it. But that's a brand new
Wait, but
street circuit.
um,
So August 8th, 2021, Big Machine Music City
uh,
Grand Prix, IndyCar.
you haven't seen
But
it yet?
no, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched
Yikes!
it. I've got lots of other things that I've been watching, but I haven't.
Like
I
paint dry.
Well, yes, yes. For those unfamiliar, I've been painting my house. I'm done painting my house, but it took way too long. So yes, there was a bit of watching paint dry. But um, we uh, in our house we've been following IMSA and World Endurance Championship, that sort of stuff, and been catching up with that. I'm still not even done watching that season. But yeah, IndyCar's on the list. I do want to watch this year's IndyCar season, but I haven't caught up yet. We are counting down to the race. We have 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go. And everybody is on the grid. And when that timer counts down, we will be going green.
Going to watch the second here at the Big Willow, California. Unfamiliar group. Always it's the second grid for, and the setups are fixed, but for the full OM.
Yeah, it depends on how they calculate the fuel, certainly.
Well, after a couple of protests because of Sachsenring, the organizers are
All good. The last race was quite exciting at the well, throughout really, but we had a lot of excitement at the beginning, to call it that. Do you think that the drivers will be a little bit more reserved in this second race? They've got a bit more experience, a bit more practice on it. Uh, I think that they'll still be competing, still be fighting, but I think we'll see a lot more unforced errors.
we're going to see more or less on what is it what you're saying?
Oh, I think that we're going to see fewer unforced errors
I don't
in
think
this
so, but
second
let's
race
see,
than before.
let's see. Right, I don't think that they had enough pain.
Hmm. Oh, okay. So you think that the drivers haven't quite learned their lessons yet?
Because they were going off track until and they
Well,
had
in 15 seconds, we're about to find out.
and they had 40 minutes to learn. Seconds, and
And
they're
we're
off.
off. It looks like.
Oh, Gramke disconnected from the server.
Oh no!
What happened
Yep.
there?
Kromke, an early disconnect, unfortunate. He misses the start of the race. O'Ferry out in front, Mr. Right behind Metch. Blamshin moves up into fourth very quickly, but still a lot of race to go, certainly. They're all right packed in alongside each other as we make these first few laps. Reverse grid here, so your leaders, Tennyson, Daikowski, and Gerard's all the way at the back have to fight their way through all of this traffic to get to the front where they, believe themselves worthy of being, certainly. And Daikowski and Bloom certainly right alongside, running Daikowski a little bit wide there, but he maintains.
I don't want to
Very.
jinx it, and I don't want to much, but compared to the start of the first race, this was much more.
Oh, good to know. Gramke is back in the server. It looks like he's going to start a lap down if he can get his car going again. Yes, he gets going again. He's going to be a lap down. I think he's going to wait. Yep, he's waiting, as he probably should, for the field to go by. But yes, he starts a lap down, and we'll see if he's able to make any time up. Diakowski and Sattler and Match all bunched in there together. Certainly a lot of fighting going on throughout. Thankfully, no contact. Thankfully, no incidents
Yet,
that we have seen so far in race 2 here. But my goodness, they are packed in very, very tightly together. Oh, Blamsheen spins! Blamsheen spins!
as does ooh,
Blamsheen,
and as does Ferry, and
Smister, yeah. Smister, Blamsheen, and O'Ferry all spinning at the entrance to the Budweiser balcony complex. And Smister spins again on corner exit, backs out, thankfully lets Blamsheen by, but oh my goodness, they were not expecting that. If you're Grumke, though, you're like, hey, maybe I can catch those guys eventually. Hey. But Sattler, Killian Sattler, is made his way all the way to the front. I don't think the man has been passed yet once in all of this championship. Or I'm sorry, in all of this round of the championship. But Bloom is right behind him. Diakowski dropping back a little bit. Tennyson making moves and up into 5th. But Diakowski, the previous race winner, is back into 7th, and he's fighting very, very hard with Sasha Girards for 6th. Both of them have a lot of time to make up, certainly, but they've got a lot of time to do it in.
going.
Oh, 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 oh. A lot of cars locking their brakes into Budweiser balcony. That's a very tricky, narrow spot. It's definitely the slowest
Yeah,
part of the circuit, and without a doubt the most technical. It's also the only place with a wall right by the circuit, other than the start-finish straight.
for good reason.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all racing close, of course. Well, at the big.
Yeah, Blamsheen spins it again. Smister and O'Ferry benefit. Lumpkin is right behind Metch. Oh, he's looking to the outside on the start-finish straight. He wants to get around him early in the race. You can't win the race, but you can certainly lose the race, the old adage goes. Lumpkin in front. Metch takes that inside line, but that inside line very closely for the next corner becomes the outside line, and it looks like Lumpkin has the benefit around the corner. Yep, Lumpkin in 3rd, but Metch is right on his heels. It can go any which way. Quite a battle here. Metch looks to the inside, thinks better of it. Diakowski, ever the speed demon, is right on the back of Metch, benefiting from their battle here, and it's a 3-way fight for 3rd. With an entire line of cars behind them. Certainly. Killian Sattler taking advantage of the clean air he found in the first couple of laps, and he is making moves. Bloom also, he had been fighting through mid-pack, ended up kind of down the rankings. I believe he finished in, let's see, that was 6th place finish, which put him in 4th, and he has weaseled his way up into 2nd. Oh, Sasha Girard's making a pass attempt on Metch. Not quite working out in his favor as Metch takes the advantage. All of these drivers in mid-pack, as expected on a reverse grid race, all packed in very, very tightly together. You know, some drivers who benefited or trying to make the most of their advantage that they gained, and the drivers in back who have the pace, know they have the pace, doing their very best to weave their way through. Tennyson getting a little bit loose coming out of there. He's in 7th. Makes his way around Brenger. But, oh my goodness, there's a lot of fighting going on through here. Very physical. No
Light
touching, but
touches.
very physical. Say again?
They are exchanging only a little.
Just a little bit. Bloom is caught up to Sattler. Will this be the first pass that Sattler does not benefit from, that Sattler loses? Possibly, but Bloom's tucked in right behind Sattler on the start-finish straight. He looks to the inside. He goes to outbreak him. They're right alongside each other. Bloom might make it, but oh, nope, thinks better of it. Absolutely, that's a good
Oh,
place
what
to...
happened to Lumpkin?
Uh-oh, Lumpkin, yep, Lumpkin down several positions. We can only assume that he spun. I don't think we saw it, but he's definitely
Didn't
4
see.
seconds.
I didn't see.
Yeah. Sasha Girard's right alongside Metch. They are neck and neck in the battle for 4th here. Trading places on your timing screen, as you can see. Girard's at the end of Budweiser balcony. The winner of that battle, Metch, still very close behind, not to mention Brenger Tennyson as well.
Trying to jump the Bayakowski and Edge and Brunner.
Yeah, don't forget Sattler. Sattler again has not been passed so far, but Bloom and Diakowski both very, very close behind him, trying to change that. Diakowski, we know, has the pace and the consistency to get around both of them and get out in front and stay out in front. But it is up to Bloom and Sattler both to make sure that that does not happen. Sattler again, number 2 in the championship. He is right by Tennyson. Tennyson running in 7th, and if Sattler can make this performance just as good as his previous one, Sattler has a solid shot at taking the lead in the championship.
Is Brunner match.
quite a few battles going on here. The battle for, I believe, the battle for 5th is the strongest out of all of these in terms of competitors. We see Metch with Brunger close behind, Tennyson close behind, Lumpkin looking as well. Oh my goodness, there's quite a lot of action on the circuit here today. It looks like the drivers have all, as I predicted, found a little bit more consistency. We'll
And
say, oh,
Diakowski.
Diakowski looking to the inside of Bloom. He outbreaks him, he takes the position very, very cleanly, very safely, but Bloom is still right close behind him as well. He'll be looking to the inside. Nope, Diakowski's gonna take it.
Match lost 2.
Yep, and Metch is about to lose 3 as Tennyson looks like... Oh, no, Tennyson and Metch are right alongside. It's anybody's game so far.
Now it's 3 wide.
Oh,
No.
Diakowski takes Sattler for the lead. Diakowski is now your new leader. Sattler very close behind. First time he's been passed all meeting today. I would say all race, but certainly in both of these races, that's the first time Sattler's been passed. Bloom trying to make that 2 times now.
Let's not forget that the fight for match Lumpkin going on. I really don't know where to put the camera.
Yeah, certainly the switcher is not having the... it's not an easy time for the switcher because there's a lot going on at the track all at once. But I think that focus should be on Bloom right now because Bloom is right glued to the back of Sattler.
I've turned off the autocam because it could not cope.
He didn't know what to do. Yeah, Diakowski now has clean air, and we know what Diakowski does with clean air, as we saw from race 1. He just disappears, and it looks like he's starting to do that. Sattler and Bloom close behind. Bloom challenges Sattler, as it looks like he's been trying to do. Diakowski's really going to benefit because two drivers battling each other tend to slow each other down. Diakowski, nobody battling him, and he's in clean air, certainly. So it looks like it's looking to be a good race for Diakowski. Diakowski 10th in the standings. He's placed well in the races that he's been in, but he missed a round or two. Certainly after round two, before Assen, it was German dominance with the German drivers taking the top 6 positions. Aslan and Bevan, both drivers who have not shown up today. Those are 2 drivers from Luxembourg, yes, and Great Britain. We had a little bit of
Lumpkin is
flag
going to
confusion
take
last
the
time
place
around.
from...
Yes, yes, indeed, and they are still
Or
trading
not,
places.
or not.
Yep, right alongside each other as they go through these
Yeah.
corners. One of the great things about Willow Springs is that all of the corners kind of flow really nicely into each other. And so you might be alongside them in one corner, and then you might not be alongside them in the other, and then catch them in the next one, and not really have a moment to catch your breath in between them. But yeah, right now Diakowski, a German, Sattler, a German, Bloom. Why am I looking this up? Yes, Bloom, of course, a German. All of these drivers at the top, Germans. Could it be a return of the German dominance in this championship? Perhaps. We'll see. Yep, Dennison right behind Brenger there. In that battle for 5th. Brenger running kind of conservatively to so as to not, you know, make a mistake and give Tennyson the position, but that's definitely allowed Tennyson to get right alongside the back of Brenger. Well within striking distance, certainly. Gramke putting in clean laps. He has wedged himself back onto the lead lap, I think, maybe? Certainly, if not on the lead lap, he has company on the lap he's on. But put in his personal best this last time around, so he is doing his very, very best to make up for his disconnect at the very start of the race. Lumpkin and Metch still very close together. Tennyson challenging Bringer yet still, but Lumpkin and Metch and Gramke. Okay, yes, Gramke is a lap down because he is right on the heels of Lumpkin and Metch, trying very hard to get his lap back. But yeah, Lumpkin and Metch right behind each other. Tennyson, similar situation, right behind Bringer in the battle for 5th.
Here to Zatla. A lot going on here.
Lap down from Sattler.
No, Bloom? No.
Oh, yeah, Bloom is fairly close to Sattler as well, yes. But yeah, certainly a lot of action on the track. A lot of drivers looking
And
to
Lumpkin
challenge.
lost control.
Oh, that is, I think that might have been Lumpkin? Was that Lumpkin?
Yeah.
Yep. Turn 9 claims yet another victim. As Lumpkin loses it, Smister takes the advantage.
Have 2 moments and trying to... minutes, well, in close fight. I think closest fights that...
I think you're right. This is certainly non-stop action. The previous race, a wonderful race of a lot of non-stop action. I definitely had a sore throat after that one. I'm going to have a sore throat after this one, too, because there's certainly a lot of on-track action thus far. Bloom still very, very close behind Sattler. Dennison approaching Bringer now as well. I've been watching that battle shape up a little bit more. It cooled off there for a moment, but it looks like Dennison might be making a pass attempt or gearing up to make a pass attempt. Yep, Dennison looking for a few more different lines around Budweiser to try to catch Bringer. Got to do something different. Squirrel moves by my window. Hi, Squirrel.
Squirrel
Neither here nor
Racing
there, but I
2.
thought it was
Close race by Squirrel. Wait.
interesting. But Bloom challenging Sattler at the same time as Dennison is challenging Bringer. Getting closer and closer, both of them.
Oh, now they're on the Ardennes.
Yep.
I think Bloom is a little far yet.
Indeed, but he is within striking position. Dennison a little bit closer as they approach into the braking zone. Is Dennison going to try something? Thinks better of it. Oh, he looks to the inside yet again. One more time. Bringer cuts him off. Certainly not for a lack of trying. Dennison, though, they're coming into a tricky spot. Dennison looking to the outside, gonna try to dip down to the inside and get a better corner exit to get closer to him here in Budweiser. This can be a very tough part. It's a blind corner as you go around the top of the hill, and as they race the descent downwards, Dennison now approaching Bringer, cooling off a little bit there in that corner. It's not quite off camber, but it's a little off camber, and certainly slower than you might expect. But they come around, and as they approach the end of the lap, Dennison going around looking for any way to get around Bringer. He goes a little bit wide there. I think he might have overestimated the grip on his car a little bit, but he tucks into the back of Bringer, and it looks like he's going to maintain his distance behind him. Ooh, very good braking zone. Closest he's been in the past few laps.
And just before you forget, there's still the fight Satla going on, but it's not as hot as the quite hot.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dennison and Bringer are less than a car length away as they go around Budweiser, and now moving into Monroe Ridge. Yep. Dennison ahead of Bringer by a large margin there now. Slingshots around him, makes the pass. Dennison into fifth. Yeah. Bloom now still behind Sattler, still about the same. I think he's content to just hang behind him for these few laps, save his tires, then make an advantage. Either A, when Sattler makes a mistake, or B. Oh, Lomkin is off. Yep, Lomkin is off. Turn 9 claims yet another victim. Mr. The beneficiary. Moving into 8th. Gramke has been slowly but surely reeling in O'Ferry. He was over a lap down, as we saw, and then when we last checked on him, he was 0.7 laps down, and now he is 0.5 laps down. So Gramke might be in a position to challenge O'Ferry if either A, O'Ferry makes a mistake, or if B, Gramke continues at his pace of kicking butt comparatively.
Oh, 1 second, more than 1 second, and he didn't go off or something like that.
Oh. Yep. Yep, Tennyson ahead of Girard's. I think Girard's had an issue on turn 9, and that allowed Tennyson to get ahead. And it looks like Bringer is going to do it as well. Girard, that mistake costing him 2 positions. Tennyson moves up into 4th. Bringer now in the top 5 as well. Lomkin hits in. Lomkin retirement. Interesting. We will have to catch up with Lumpkin and see what happened. Oh, we see our first big spin from Blamshin. Blamshin has struggled very hard with that corner. He's in a tough spot. Yeah, he's right on the apex of that corner there.
Are coming in difficult. Yeah. But you gotta give it to these drivers. Are really really very careful. They're not doing stupid mistakes other than going a little hot into the corners, but they're very careful.
Yep, they wasted all their stupid mistakes in race 1.
Oh man, if there was just a contingent of race, I would be winning right now already. But somehow
Blamshin into the pits. Perhaps Blamshin might be a retirement. He did have a big off there, slammed the back end into the wall, I think, in that spin. So it might be just a pit to change tires, repair damage, but hopefully we'll see him back out on track. Blemshin, certainly a fast driver, but not very consistent, and I think that's been his largest hindrance throughout this championship. Diakowski, the previous lap, set his personal best around the track. Oh, Tennyson off at turn 9. Sausage Gerards moves up into 4th position. Tennyson is back out onto the straight, but he's very, very slow. It looks like Brenger is going to pass him. Yep, Brenger passes him at the end of the start-finish straight as they go into the first corner. And now Metch is right behind. We previously saw a battle between Metch and Bringer, and now Tennyson is going to split the middle of that battle, and so it will probably be a battle between Metch and Tennyson. We'll see.
Tennyson, by the way, number 1 in the overall rating. I'm surprised that having Willow Willow
Tennyson won at Monaco. Tennyson won round 2, race 2 at Monaco, and placed 4th. At Sachsenring, Tennyson also won as well. So he won both races at Sachsenring. So Tennyson certainly has the prowess to place very, very well in these races. But yeah, Big Willow has been kind of catching him out a little bit. At Assen, he placed 4th in race 2, but 7th in race 1. He's 6th right now. So if the flag dropped right now, this would be his second worst performance of this championship so far. So I think you're right. I think there's some tracks that some drivers benefit from pretty well, but Denison won at both Monaco and Sachsenring, which are only matched in their difficulty, and certainly not in their track layout, track style, etc. So yeah, Willow's a bit of a different beast, though.
I mean, you can say for sure that he's making Bringer nervous, as Bringer has done a couple of slight errors, still errors.
Yeah, he's right on his heels, certainly, challenging him. And, you know, if you're Brenger, seeing Tennyson with his, you know, prowess, as we've mentioned, throughout the championship, you see him behind you, that's got to make you more than a little bit nervous. Blomshin has remained in the pits, but he is now moving again. He is now, I believe, several laps down. But perhaps he can get things going and finish for points. Denison's still close behind Brenger. Not quite as close as he was before, but he's on the approach.
Yeah, because Brunner hasn't done any for the
Yeah.
last couple of corners.
Brenger certainly consistent. Tennyson has been consistent, but it's been a little bit less so than Brenger. I don't think we've seen an off from Brenger.
What has cooled down fight between.
Yes. Yeah, Bloom now a second behind Sattler. Content to run in third, I think.
For now, at least.
For now, yes.
A little bit over 12.
Yeah,
There's still time.
Bloom is running sixth in the championship standings, so his competitors before him, fifth through first, Sol, Bevan, Aslan, Sattler, and Tennyson. The only drivers in attendance today are Sattler and Tennyson. So really, if you're Bloom, that's all you're after. O'Ferry running in ninth. O'Ferry had a
And
very, very poor performance
Tennyson
before.
looking. Yeah, I
Oh,
think he's got him. I think he's got him.
I think he does too. Yep, very, very clean pass around the outside.
Yeah,
Was that?
around
Wow.
the.
Goodness, that's, I think that we may have to review the tapes, but I think that's our first pass around the outside on that corner that we've seen today. But yeah, Denison has the skill to win this championship. He's currently in first in the standings, and that was a wonderful display of why he's in first.
Oh,
Yep. Gromke started at the back of the field a lap down. Oh, Gromke having some big issues there. He was
off
off
again.
and then he got going, spun again. We're 30 minutes into this race. I have to wonder if he might have cooked his tires
But he was.
in his big
I
push.
know. I was gonna say he was in pits. No,
Yeah, Blumshine was in pits for so long. Blumshine is now back out. That was after his accident. I think that was the first time we saw a driver hit the wall. But yeah, Gromke certainly has been making very, very good strides. He ran a 1:24, which for his skill set and what he's been running at has been very, very good. I think that's better than his best lap last time around. But consistency has been a major issue for him, and I think now as he's been pushing it to the limit, pushing it over the limit, and then recovering, I think he might have worn out that car a little bit too much, and he's having some issues. Yeah, Gromke running very, very tough. Yeah, Gromke spinning his way. I don't
once
know
again.
if that's an intentional into the pit lane, but yep, I think we might be seeing Gromke either retiring or pitting in to fix whatever issue it is, but certainly he's had a very undrivable car thus far.
Tennyson, by the way, got hung. Now trying to get near enough to.
Yep. Yeah, Tennyson is racing the championship most certainly, and Girard's has been 12th, but he doesn't want him to get any closer.
Or ferry the.
Oh, yep. Ferry is. Oh my goodness. Well, Tennyson is definitely feeling a whole lot better now. I'm sorry, not Tennyson. Bloom. We were talking about Bloom in his championship standings, and Ferry was his closest competitor in that battle for sixth. in the standings. And O'Ferry with a poor performance in the first race. Gremke also, I'm not entirely surprised by that. Gremke had a really tough race this time around. Dennison is now challenging Gerards for fourth. Yeah, Dennison has been on a roll this race. Yeah, Sasha,
Fast.
they're in front. He's been running a very good, very consistent, very clean race throughout. But Dennison has found a whole nother gear and is right on Gerard's tail. Let me buy, let me buy, let me buy. I have Diakowski in my sights. Let me buy, let me buy. And Gerard says, I'm still in it to race this too. Come on, man. Oh, he's looking. He's looking to the
Yeah.
inside. Thinks better of it on that one. But my goodness, he's right behind him. How do you think Sasha Gerards is feeling right now?
Oh, he's quite a driver, calm driver. So I don't think he's gonna be too nervous. Races he race, and if Tennyson finds a place to overtake, he's gonna overtake. But Sasha is quite a calm driver and doesn't get.
I think we just saw a little bit of an intentional wiggle from Gerards on the straight as they start to approach the big sweeping corner. Tennyson trying to find a way around Gerards, and Gerards trying to make his car just as big as possible. Not let Tennyson guess which line he's going to take into that corner. Tennyson trying to outbrake Gerards, gets very, very close to him. He's trying to get alongside him. Gerards cuts him off yet
He's
again, but Tennyson,
going wanted to go for the inside, but Arts cut
yeah, I
that
think
possibility.
Gerards is playing very smart, very defensively. Very, very defensively.
And
Only
on the
have
other
6
hand,
minutes
I'm
left in
not.
this race.
If I look, oh, logged. Um, if I look at the racing state, not so much different than the real racing. Just being clever in the way that he's driving.
Absolutely. He's doing very, very good to hold Tennyson off. Tennyson has been on a tear, made his way through Metch, made his way through Bringer, and now he's trying to challenge Gerards. But Gerards is a whole different driver than Bringer and Metch, and he brings his own set of toolboxes to the battle, or his own set of tools in his toolbox to the battle, pardon me. Um, so if he brought a set of toolboxes, that would be impressive as well. But certainly, neither here nor there, he has been making excellent strides to keep Dennison in his rearview mirror. Coming around again, we've seen that as a good passing zone for a lot of places. Again, Gerard's making himself as wide as possible. This is an opportunity to make it around as they pass Blamsheen. Uh, yep,
In
yep,
looking to the
Dennison
inside,
alongside. They're going to be right alongside each other onto this straightaway, but Gerards has the inside line. Yep, he moves ahead of him, gets defensive, had a better exit, and Gerard stays ahead, but Dennison, oh boy, doing his very, very best to get around him. Wow, this is quite the battle in the last 5 minutes of the race. This is the battle for fourth, you're seeing. Diakowski, Sattler, Bloom, all pretty settled, but this one all up in the air. It's very much up for grabs on who's going to take fourth place in the championship here. Gerard's trying to make headway, trying to get better than 12th in the standings, but Dennison saying, nope, 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 let me get my lead. I got to hold on to that lead. Wow, quite a battle we're seeing here. Gerards and Dennison taking turn 9 like absolute pros.
let's see how they. Yeah. So
Dennison
Tennyson
looking
taking
on the
the inside
inside.
and
Oh!
yeah, takes a yeah. But Sasha now. That's very interesting. Tennyson taking the inside, passing Sasha. Sasha now trying the outside as Tennyson did with.
They're
Oh, they are.
alongside each other.
Yeah,
Sasha has the inside line now.
but he very careful.
Yep, thinks better of it.
Yeah.
even with this, they're both poised to move up in the standings, passing the absent Aslan, Bevlin, and Saul, all of those drivers, as well as Niche in the case of Gerard's. Those will all be good passing positions, but if they wreck, that's not going to be good for either of them. So the number one thing is not getting an incident, and I think Gerard's saw things getting a little bit hot and thought better of it. But now that he's behind him, he's going to make his very, very best effort to catch up to Tennyson and give him a run for his money. Give him a run for his money. Words, English. Hi, guys. Just as much as Tennyson gave Gerard's. But Tennyson saw a lot of the defending that Gerard's was able to do around this circuit, and I'm sure that he will use a lot of the same tactics that Gerard's used on him to make his Porsche just as wide as Gerard's Porsche was throughout the aforementioned laps.
Then
Yes, absolutely. We are 40 minutes thereabouts into race number 2 of a set of 2 races. So I've been talking for a while. So as we enter the last 2.5 minutes, it is Dykowski, Sattler, and Bloom in 1, 2, and 3. How do you think the rest of this is going to shape up? Do you think we're going to see much more challenging from Gerard's, or do you think Tennyson's going to run away with it, sort of?
that's very interesting. I don't have the answer because for a while Gerard was half a second, but now either Tennyson is pulling away or Gerard is here saying, okay, 2 minutes, let me get this position. I won't fight for fourth because good enough. So maybe here or no, he did his
Gerard's is not taking it easier as
nope,
he
he
just
did
set
his best.
his
So
personal best.
he's not taking it. Then it's Tennyson who is pulling away, which is
Yep.
no surprise. I mean, he's the at the top of the ranking.
Yeah, I want to point out just how impressive it is that Gerard's just set his fastest lap time. He is absolutely giving it 110% as we have now concluded. Uh, that's on 40-minute-old tires
Exactly.
that he set his personal
Yeah.
best. That's incredible. Incredible from Gerard's. Absolute masterclass. Don't let the fact that Tennyson was faster than him, like, throughout that, like, undermine the fact that that was an absolute amazing lap from Gerard's.
And let's also be clear. Only error that Sasha did was a little bit of locking the tires. All of this fight and was not the reason why Tennis was able to take him. So chapeau.
As we come into the last 30 seconds of this race, Dykowski, the big winner here. Dykowski 10th in the standings. The German, believe he missed a race or two, but he is here for this one. He is here in full force for this one, and he is absolutely determined, bound and determined to jump up in the standings, and I'm sure we'll see a large rise in the standings for him. But Sattler, number 2 in the standings, right behind him, has had a wonderful race 1 and race 2 both. Sattler finishing, and I believe it was 5th after race 1, and is on par to finish in 2nd on race 2
Kowski
here.
passed the end line with 3 seconds to go. So
We will see, just barely, we will see one more lap.
Bloom
Uh-oh.
overtook Sattler.
Yeah, Bloom overtakes Sattler on the very, very final lap as they come around to the checkered flag. Oh, it is going to be
No, not yet,
Bloom
not yet. No.
ahead and Sattler behind. I don't think Sattler's going to be able to make up those 3 seconds on
Yeah,
Bloom.
but he's like
That's
it
the
looked as if he
second.
was a lot slower, but now he's
I think that was because Sattler had a really, really bad turn 9. there, that final corner that tightens out onto the straight. It's very important to get that right, but it's a very tricky corner to do. And if you don't do it right, you'll lose. Oh, we just saw Denison. Denison spins. He's right into the wall.
Ah,
Gerards is the beneficiary there. He takes 4th place. Denison down into 5th. Diakowski, your winner. There in 1st, certainly not to be discounted by the added benefits that we've had. Blomsheen goes way off. He finishes in 9th. But yeah, Blomsheen certainly way off. He's cutting the track or parking something. Might want to take a look at Blomsheen there. He has finished his race, but he's just like off-roading it.
Bloom comes in second.
Yep, Sattler
Sattler
in
third.
3rd. Gerard's in 4th. We saw a last-minute shakeup there. Bloom overtaking Sattler. That's the 2nd time through this whole race that Sattler has been overtaken for a position across a lap. Denison finishes in 5th. Gerard's the beneficiary of Denison's last lap spin, just trying to get a little bit more out of it. Oh, drivers are having a little bit of fun if we take a
Whoa!
look at Denison. They're flying around. Oh, there's a hill there, very famous hill in sim racing because once you finish your race, you can just fly, literally.
What
You
is
just
Bloom
go through
doing?
it and just
Look at that.
launch. Yeah. Oh, the joys of sim racing. We love it.
What we can say is you were right. The drivers were much less prone to errors,
Yeah,
even
but I
if
think
they
we were
did.
better
But
for it because we saw a lot closer action.
oh yeah, these
Wow.
have been two very eventful, impressive.
Yeah,
The
I think.
alien wins again. Uh, that. Um, so this has been the last race for today of the Corsa Friends. Remember, next week there is not going to be race ones. The next race of the Assetto Corsa Friends on the 911 Super is going to be of October.
Indeed, absolutely great race, everybody. It looks like Diakowski wins, and he will be jumping up in the standings significantly because of that. Bloom, previously in 6th, he wins this race too. He was 6th in the championship, pardon me, and I think that finish will help him as well. Certainly will move ahead of Bevan and Aslan and Saul as well. Sattler, number 2 in the championships, finishes ahead of Denison, and I think both races, yeah. And let me check on that. Yes. Oh wait, no. Denison finished in 2nd place, but yeah, a little bit of trading places there between race 1 and race 2. Sattler versus Denison for the championship battle. We'll have to tally up the points and see how it goes. Denison's first race, he did place 2nd, so I think that will play well to his favor. But I think we'll start to see the championship lead narrow a little bit because Sattler finished in 3rd, Denison finished in 5th.
And the next race we are going to be broadcasting. It's going to be next Saturday, the 25th of September. It's going to be from Assetto Corsa Friends. Again, a classic Le Mans race, ours, with cars, if I remember correctly, of the 80s and 90s. Going to be driving 2 hours of Le Mans with cars. It's very interesting. If I remember the Discord correctly, all places for racing, all places are already occupied already.
Cool, cool. This has
It's
been
gonna
a
be
wonderful, wonderful set of 2 races in this championship. This championship has shaped up to be one of the most interesting we've commentated throughout. Some very, very great drivers, some wonderful personalities, both on track and in the chat. And I had a lot of fun. Serta, take it away.
Oh yeah, these I think the choice of tracks for of course our friends 911 Super Cup is really, very good. That brings a lot of close fights. So this has been it for today. I hope you're gonna be again with us on Saturday tomorrow. After that, and until then, we'll collect up and we'll see you. Thank you. Thank you.